Okay.
Toss sweep. Here comes Chubb with a cutback. He's out to the 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Here he goes to the 50. Here goes Chubb. He's going to go. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Nick Chubb. He's got a hat trick. Wow, 88 yards by Chubb.
AFC North with a game to go tonight, but it will not affect the top of the standings where the Browns have taken up shop for the first time since Week 10 of 2014. Their win over the Ravens yesterday, not only their first September road win over a divisional opponent since 2008, but their first ever with a 300-yard passer, 150-yard rusher, and 150-yard receiver in the same game. This, LT, is the team that we talked about all offseason. What was different yesterday?
Well, one, they were highly motivated from Brandon Williams coming out talking about what's going to be the plan for the Browns whenever they get hitting them out. Well, the plan was for the offensive line to accept that challenge and do what they did yesterday and open up huge, massive holes. And listen, they control the line of scrimmage. And when you look at Nick Chubb, he's best when he's able to get downhill, one cut, get downhill, and then this guy breaks so many tackles, Willie. It's really hard to bring him down with one person. He continues to churn out yards, and he has great vision. That's the one thing. Look at this run right here. He saw the cutback. A lot of running backs don't even see that cutback once they get up in the hole. So he did a terrific job, obviously, but I love what Nick Chubb said yesterday after the game. He said anybody could have ran through that hole right there. That 88-yard touchdown, the offensive line did a great job, and they just control the line of scrimmage all day. But they need to play like this day in and day out, every game.
That's their identity.
That's their identity. You know, it keeps them in second and third and manageable situations so Baker Mayfield can have success with quick passing.
39 fantasy points for Nick Chubb yesterday. Last Browns running back with that many, Peyton Hillis, 2010. Got to go way back. How about the defense, Willie? Held Baltimore in check. How'd they do it?
They did a great job, and you got to confuse Lamar Jackson. You got to keep him off balance, and I know it sounds crazy for a mobile quarterback, but you got to keep him off the spot. So when you look at the tape and you watch what they did up front, they confused him. Here's two linebackers. They're mugged up in the A-gap. So when you're taking the count, you're trying to figure it out. You got a flush game on the right, and you got two linebackers that looks like they're rushing that's dropping out. The guy here is Demarius Randall, so he confuses the front, the protection. Nobody accounts for him, almost misses him because he's so elusive, does a great job of recovering and making a play. And then here you go again. You got to get good push in the middle of the pocket. Get Lamar Jackson off the spot. Ogunjobi does a great job. Myles Garrett on the outside. His job, do not get out of control. Keep leverage. Keep the quarterback on your inside shoulder. He did a great job. Compare that, and when you put that with great coverage on the back end, you got quarters too high. All the receivers are taken. Everybody's accounted for. You want to force him to throw the ball to the check down, break up, make the tackle. Same look, but it's not quarters. Right here is cover 2, Tampa 2. Schobert does a great job of matching and getting depth with the tight end. The safety recognizes what they're trying to do, gets over the top, goes up, high points the ball, makes a great play. So you got to take the ball away. You got to control the trenches. You got to contain Lamar Jackson. You got to stop the run game. I can keep going on and on and on. But they did a great job of doing all those things yesterday.
Great game for Cleveland. We'll see if they can keep it up. They've got a tough stretch ahead at Niners versus Seahawks at Patriots. Scott?
One of the best back-and-forth games yesterday, Chiefs and Lions. Kansas City with a fourth quarter come-from-behind win to stay undefeated and hand the Lions their first loss of the season. We had 5 second-half lead changes in this game, and the Chiefs punched in the game-winning touchdown with 20 seconds left to go. Final score was 34-30, which begs the question, what does it take to keep Kansas City low on the scoreboard? Patrick Mahomes did not throw a touchdown pass. Patrick Mahomes did not rush for a touchdown. And yet they still hang 34 in a road game against a previously undefeated team. Wow, let's go inside of the game center, presented by Bridgestone right now. DC here with us. And David, Mahomes not throwing the touchdowns like he had been, but still effective in this game.
Very, very effective. And I thought Detroit had actually a really good plan against them. They thought they'd get up there and challenge those wide receivers, but that left open some issues with him. So as we roll it and we look at some of these plays that they made, I mean, he's really just buying some time in the backfield and makes some fantastic plays with his feet and just continuing to go above the X's and O's. Travis Kelce, man-to-man, tight man-to-man coverage here. It's all covered up, but the ability for Patrick to continue to move, to get out of the pocket, it draws attention. The Detroit Lions can't help themselves but to look and say, do I have to go up and tackle this guy? And that leaves Travis Kelce open, and his playmaking ability is unmatched. And then, oh, by the way, you still have to cover McCoy because now he's going to lateral it to him. So, I mean, 34 points and having plays like that is just fantastic. Now they're going to go too deep, man underneath. The problem with this is there's no one on the quarterback, and if you don't stunt and you don't create some run lanes issues with the quarterback, he's just going to tuck it and run up the middle of the field because there's nobody on the quarterback, and just does a tremendous job. And then finally this last one, same type of deal. There's essentially 3 or 4 guys looking at Travis Kelce here. You jam him, you push him. Okay, Patrick just ran for a big first down. One of us has to go get him. So I'm going to leave. I'm going to go try and make a play, make sure he doesn't run for another first down. And then maybe I'll leave my buddy back here to cover it up. Well, unfortunately, your buddy doesn't trust you. And he steps out of the way because he thinks Patrick's going to beat him. And look at Travis Kelce, wide open, no one even on him. At the start of the play, there were 4 guys in the area to make a play on him. That's why they're so difficult, because you have the right plan. You got a good, okay, we're going to jam. Scott, you jam him, and I'll cover on the back end. And then you leave, and then I leave, and then it's a whole mess. So, I mean, initially good plan, but it takes a lot to stop these guys.
Okay, Kansas City 4-0. They're either going to be 1 or 2 in everyone's power rankings. Let's put some respect on the Detroit Lions, though, too.
Great.
Lions had the Kansas City Chiefs in a 4th down that if the defense makes the play there, Detroit wins the game, is still undefeated. And there was that 14-point swing in the game.
With the fumble.
Lions fumbled at the goal line,
play.
100-yard return for a touchdown. But Kansas City made the plays. Kansas City stays unblemished in 2019. Well, let's look ahead to week number 5. It all begins on NFL Network, Fox, and on Amazon Prime. It's Rams and Seahawks. A couple of 3-1 teams head-to-head. We'll see you Thursday at 8 o'clock Eastern for Thursday Night Football. Even numbers. They were the story in Chicago on Sunday. 16-6 was the final score. Chase Daniel wearing jersey number 4. 6 sacks and 2 turnovers forced by that defense for Chicago. In fact, the only thing presented by Bridgestone alongside Lindsey Rhodes. I'm Scott Hansen.
Hoping nobody hands us an L in our house today.
Right.
Weird weekend of football. Home team 3-11 so far. We'll see if Pittsburgh can buck that trend tonight. In the meantime, here's what you need to know right now. Starting with a season-long suspension for Vontaze Burfict without pay. That hit on Jack Doyle in the second quarter yesterday, the latest in what the league called an extensive history of rules violations. Told the Raiders linebacker in a letter that he had been warned that future violations would result in escalated accountability measures. Said he had continued to flagrantly abuse the rules, and as a result, he is out for the rest of 2019. Possibly out this week, Mitchell Trubisky, the Bears quarterback, doubtful to play against the Raiders in London. According to Ian Rappaport, he has a dislocated left shoulder, no plans for surgery. Bears have a bye next week. He could be back after that. Won't see Bradley Chubb for the rest of the season. The Broncos pass rusher out with a torn ACL that he continued to play with against the Jaguars. According to Vic Fangio, he was as surprised as anyone when he woke up this morning feeling the way he did. Another injury from yesterday, Tyron Smith, who left the stadium in a boot. According to Ian Rappaport, he got some good news today. It's not as bad as originally thought. An ankle sprain that will cost the Cowboys left tackle this week's game. According to Rappaport, possibly not any more time than that. That said, Cowboys could have used him on that final drive last night. Down 2 to the Saints and unable to put any points on the board. A major win for New Orleans at home without Breeze and without a single touchdown. Did it with 4 field goals from Will Lutz. Something tells me Willie McGinest might have enjoyed this game more than, say, David Carr or LaDainian Tomlinson. Both defenses looked great. How did the Saints D pull it off?
They won in the trenches, and it's all about winning in the trenches. When you play in the Dallas Cowboys, you cannot let Zeke get going. And I thought they did a great job of controlling the front, not let him get going. 8 carries for 35 yards. That's unheard of for Zeke. But they have a history of not giving up 100-yard rushers, and they did it today. And I think when you're able to do this and you can negate the running game and force Dak to do certain things, you got great coverage on the back end. I'm not going to dispel what they did on the back end. They had great coverage. But if you can't stop the run, it opens up so many more plays for the Dallas Cowboys. And kudos to that front 7 for the Saints.
Last time the Saints won without scoring a touchdown was 1998.
It's been a while.
That said, they dominated time of possession. Is that going to be their formula moving forward, David?
I think it has to be. That's just based on what we saw from Teddy. And it wasn't bad football. It just wasn't Drew Brees. Drew Brees is a completely different animal. And you can see that with the mounting frustrations a little bit with Alvin Kamara and the subtleties. Like, you don't ever really see Alvin kind